Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the Simgot Supermix 4. As you can see, it's got a really funky setup with one dynamic driver, one balanced armature, one planar and one piezo driver, I think. So quite a very well, I think basically the same kind of setup as the Kiwi Ears Quintet, but that's I think at least $70 more than this, so it's quite a difference. And yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, I'd like to thank Simgot for sending it to me, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video, and all thoughts, opinions are my own. Yeah, obviously they haven't done a setup like this before, so yeah, let's just get into it. So let's see what you get. So obviously funky driver setup, I guess that's how they've done it. I guess they call one of them like a planar. Obviously I'm not quite sure obviously what the actual internals look like. So specs, I guess. Actually, website information there. Specs are probably on the back. So yeah, obviously their frequency response graph. A little bit hard to read, but Supermix 4 structure there. It's probably quite hard to see. Impedance of 7.2 ohms. There we go. So that's really low. Sensitivity 200 TB. So I'm quite curious that impedance. So you might need quite clear. I think you might need like an amp with a really low output impedance to make this sound right. Obviously I'll see what it's actually like. So yeah, quite a nice presentation as per usual. Get these two out. Yeah, quite nice, a bit thick, but obviously there's a few drivers in there. 2-pin, obviously some sort of vent. No nozzle on there. Like kind of vent. So you got the 3 guides. I'm quite curious to see what these are like. These should be quite, I think, quite resolving is probably my kind of guess. So ear tips. So yeah, kind of normal. I have no issues with these tips. They work quite well for me. So small, medium and large. Accessories. QC. Oops. Yeah, so not much in there. Usual kind of information in this kind of guide. Chinese and probably English might be on the other side. No, I think it's just all Chinese. But then again, oh, yeah, bit of English there. Again, it's relatively straightforward. Don't really need to see that. Case, leather, seems pretty good. Let's see what we get. Little space in there. And here's the cable. So, oops, looks relatively straightforward. Obviously, I'll try it when I get to use these IMs. So I do like how they always put the collars on. So it's really easy to just quickly grab them, pull them in your ear, without, you know, working anything out. So very straightforward. Obviously 3.5 as well. And yeah, quite curious that really low impedance. And that's it. So looking forward to this set. I guess they're going to be quite resolving and probably quite good treble extension is probably my guess. And yeah, spending a bunch of time with it as per usual. Graph it, and yeah, I'll see you guys and gals sometime in the future. I'll see you in the next clip. So welcome to my review section of the Simgot Supermix 4. Like I said, there's 4 different drivers in there, which sounds extremely complicated, but actually works quite well, which I'll get to. Anyway, this is the cable. As a negative, it's a bit stiff, but it absolutely works fine, really. Obviously 3.5. Again, this kind of model, you don't need balanced, in my opinion. You just need a good kind of output. And there's a strain relief, chin slider here, which is super loose. Doesn't really do anything, if that really matters to you. Obviously, this is what it looks like attached. I've just pulled these out a little bit because they weren't quite tight, these was. And see what they look like. Again, quite large, we'll talk about that in a bit. Again, I do like they've got colours. So obviously left, blue for left, red for right. And yeah, let's just get this cable out of the way. So, comfort and fit. Now these are large units, as you can see. So just take a tip off. They've used these tips before, that's what they look like. So take this off. You can see there, I didn't have any issues with like the pressure build up. You can see it's got the 3 balls, if it's hard to see. You can just see in the kind of light there, there's 3. Comfort wise, I found these okay. and that's all. I think that there's a little bit of weight to these, so the comfort I'd say is somewhere kind of in the middle. So that's what it looks like with the tip. These are the medium tips, by the way, if they will be big for you, but it's okay. Build quality on this set seems fine. I do like the kind of understated, apart from that kind of like gold ring. There's a little vent there, and that's pretty much it. So pound sensitivity. Now these are a low impedance, so it helps to use something clean. So you really want to avoid like tube amps, however you want to pronounce it, with this. So I use this mainly with my topping combo, which has got an output impedance of 0.1. So they sound as good as they're going to get with that kind of impedance, and they do sound great. I tried it with a couple of dongles, and they seem fine as well. So you want something that's like, typically you want it under 1 ohm output impedance on the amp, really, for it to sound right. And that's it. They don't need a lot of power. They just need low impedance power, basically. And yeah, apart from that, it's fine, really. So timbre on this set, because it's a Quad-brid, if you want to call it that. It's actually not too bad. It does sound a little bit off, which I'm not surprised, because it's got piezo, a BA, a dynamic driver, and a planar, which kind of looks like a balanced armature, I think, from the promotion material. So the timbre's okay. Again, you can't beat a natural, the natural sound from a dynamic driver, but it does have a DD, which I think is just for the bass, really. Resolution on this set and details. These I found was like detail monsters, which I'm not surprised because of the driver setup. I think they aim to go for like resolution and a treble extension, and they hit that, in my opinion. So soundstage and imaging. The soundstage on this set sounds really, I think it sounds big for an IEM. Again, I think that treble extension helps. And the imaging, I think, helps for placement, again, because it's a brighter set. I think it does really help with that. And yeah, so sound, before waffling too much, put the graph on now. So pretty good channel matching, apart from a little bit in the treble, which I didn't really notice. So bass on this set, they're not really mid-bass monsters. These are more towards, I'd say, sub-bass. Obviously there's a little bit of mid-bass kind of slam to it, but they're not really mid-bass monsters. It's more sub-bass kind of orientated, which may or may not benefit you. A lot of modern music has more mid-bass and sub-bass, but apart from that, the DD they've used actually seems fine. I don't know if the bass is better than something like one of their own, single driver units, like an EA500 or EA500 LM, for example, which just got one driver to do the full range. But yeah, it seems pretty good, really. Nothing to really be negative about. Again, personally, I put it like a touch more mid-bass, but that's my preference, really. Mid-range is quite transparent. It is forward for vocals, especially female. Male ones sound okay. Again, a detailed mid-range as well. All the instruments are really forward. Everything that should be in the mix is there. And that's pretty much all I can say, really. Again, anything more vocal forward, like female, is more present, really. So if you do like obviously female singers, as in more higher pitched than there, and treble. So as you can see, these are very detailed set. Now also with the 711, the clone ones that us reviewers use, you're not meant to really rely on them after like the 8K-ish, but as you can see, as just a guide, you can see there's some crazy level treble. Again, that's the point, I think, of this set. So you hear everything, and you do. Again, these have a lot of extension. So if you're someone who likes a lot of detail in the music, this is for you. For somebody who wants a casual, relaxed listen, this set definitely isn't for you. But treble, I think it's probably a little bit too forward for I personally like. But if you listen at a lower volume, it's not really a problem. Maybe, to be picky, just under 3K, maybe a bit forward for you. Again, I do prefer a relaxed, well, not super relaxed, but a more relaxed treble than what these are. That's my preference. So a lot of Simgot models do have the elevated lower treble. Again, this does have it. but obviously the trade-off, as the positive, it is a very, very detailed set, and you hear everything. So all the instruments are very forward, and the separation of them is also very good. Again, it all depends on what your genre is. Like if you like a lot of acoustic or classical, you'll hear everything, and it can do a lot of separation. Is, I think, very good on this set. It just depends that it's got a lot of treble. If you like that, that's really the main thing. Again, there's also, because of the nozzle design, you might not be able to put any filters on or anything like that, because it's got those 3 bores for the, obviously, towards the drivers. But anyway, before I get to the conclusion, a very detailed set. You hear everything. That may be good or bad, and that's pretty much it. So, conclusion on this set, I think it's around the $150 mark, if I'm correct. I think it's very good value for money for the sheer performance of the sound. Again, it depends if you want that crazy kind of treble detail and extension with that sub bass. You could probably call this more of a U-shaped sound, kind of sound signature, or W-shape maybe. But anyway, but it's more, if you like a casual, relaxed listen, these aren't for you. These are very, very detailed, which I'm not surprised by. Probably one of the more resolving sets I've tried, probably from Simgot. Again, the 4 drivers are quite cohesive as well, to be honest. But yeah, good set. A bit on the bright side, personally, for me. Maybe a bit of sibilance thrown in, but I'm not surprised, because they are what they are. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully, I might try if I can get the EM10 model, which is new, which is a little bit more straightforward hybrid. I think it's 8 balance armatures in that one, though, so it's a bit different. But yeah, that detailed set, I think they're very good value for money. And I think that's pretty much it. If you think I missed anything, please do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.